Eastpointe, Michigan. A quiet Saturday afternoon. Families, shoppers, and sneakers. Nothing out of the ordinary until gunfire shattered the calm outside of Foot Locker. 2 men dead, 2 others injured, and the community left frozen in disbelief. Police say it started as a fight between 2 groups, but this wasn't some random street altercation. These people knew each other. By the time it was over, bodies lay in the parking lot and the sound of sirens drowned out everything else. Detectives would soon uncover a story of loyalty, fear, and split-second decisions that would change lives forever. But what really happened that day, and who's the real victim?
I want to get right to that fatal shooting. It happened at the Foot Locker on 8 Mile. 7 News Detroit reporter Tierra Braddock joins us from the scene with the very latest.
A very sad situation out here at the Foot Locker on 8 Mile in Kelly in Eastpointe. 4 people shot, 2 people are dead, and 2 others are in the hospital, and police are still piecing together exactly what happened. Police tell me the shooting stemmed from a fight that happened in the parking lot between 2 groups. The shooting happened at around 3 this afternoon. I spoke to a lieutenant from the police department. Hear more of what he had to say.
We are lucky that no innocent bystanders got hit by a stray bullet. We are very lucky that bullets didn't enter the store and hit people who were just coming to shop.
Police say they do not have a suspect in custody, but they don't believe there's any threat to the public.
It was around 2:45 p.m. when the first 911 calls came in. Witnesses described screaming, panic, people ducking behind cars, running for cover. According to police, it started with words, an argument between 2 groups who had a history. Then it turned physical, and in the chaos, someone went for a gun. Detective Lieutenant Alexander Holish described it plainly. We know there were 2 groups of people that got into an argument, which turned physical, and during the fight, the suspect discharged a weapon, a handgun, pulled from a car, fired in broad daylight. When the smoke cleared, 1 man was dead on the asphalt. 3 others were rushed to the hospital. Another would die hours later. Holish later said the community was lucky more people weren't hit. Lucky the bullets didn't pierce the store windows. Lucky that kids, families, anyone didn't become collateral damage. But as investigators combed through surveillance footage and shell casings, a name began to surface. A name that would shock everyone.
Deadly quadruple shooting leaves 2 people dead and 2 others injured, and the shooters are still on the loose. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Pamela Osborne.
And I'm Will Jones. The shooting happened in a Foot Locker parking lot in Eastpointe. Jacqueline Francis is live there now. And Jacqueline, please say this all started as an argument.
Will and Pam, this parking lot behind me, this Foot Locker parking lot, was a crime scene for most of the afternoon. The store itself really has nothing to do with the shooting other than the 2 groups that were feuding decided to pull into this parking lot. They got out of the car, they got into a physical fight, and then shots were fired.
We are lucky that no innocent bystanders got hit by a stray bullet. We are very lucky that bullets didn't enter the store.
A Foot Locker parking lot in Eastpointe turned into a crime scene. The shooting happened just before 3 Saturday afternoon at 8 Mile and Kelly Road. Eastpointe police say 2 cars pulled into the parking lot. The people got out of the cars and the 2 groups began physically fighting. One person got out a gun and started beating someone else with it until the gun broke. Police say a woman then got out of the car, grabbed another gun from the trunk, and began shooting. 4 people were shot. 1 man died on scene. Another died at the hospital. The 2 other men are in stable condition.
This makes no sense to me, and it hurts my heart, to see somebody else to have to go through this. Somebody finna have to bury their kids, and it don't make no sense. That's just wrong.
The suspect is on the run, but police believe there is no ongoing threat.
But we do not believe that there's any danger to the public because we do not think it was random. These 2 groups of people knew each other, and it appears that's what the fight started from, previous disagreements.
Back here live on the scene, you'll see the gate is closed down. They shut down the store early today because of what happened. Anyone with information should give police a call.
Her name, Lakylia Taylor, 19 years old, no criminal record, a sister, not a killer, or so her family believed. According to police, everything unraveled between her brother, Dejuan Taylor. He was one of the men in that parking lot when the fight broke out. And according to Lakylia's defense attorney, things escalated fast. She didn't know this individual. She had no beef with this individual, the lawyer said.
All right, we do have some breaking news to get to here at 5 o'clock. This is just into the Local 4 newsroom. The person wanted in connection to a deadly shooting outside a Foot Locker has turned herself in. That shooting happened Saturday afternoon outside the store on East 8 Mile and Kelly. That's right at the Detroit Eastpointe border. Investigators say it started as a fight between two groups outside the store. Police say a woman got a gun out of a trunk, started shooting. 4 people were hit, 2 died at the scene. We're told that person is in police custody. No word yet on any charges.
But she's crying out there watching her brother attempt to be murdered. In that moment, panic, adrenaline, fear. Lakylia ran to the car, grabbed a gun, her brother's gun. What happened next is where the story splits in two. Her attorney calls it self-defense. The prosecution calls it execution. Prosecutor Kumar Palupu claimed Miss Taylor is on video shooting the victims at point-blank range. She repeatedly fired at one of the victims while he was on the ground. If that's true, then it wasn't a desperate act. It was a choice. 2 lives ended, and now Lakylia's would never be the same. The case sent shockwaves through Eastpointe. A teenage girl charged with second-degree murder, assault with intent to murder, felony firearms, and more. But just when the community thought it was over, came the twist. Her brother, Dejuan Taylor, was arrested too.
A man that was shot outside an Eastpointe Foot Locker is now facing charges.
21-year-old Dejuan Taylor faces tampering with evidence and gun charges. The shooting happened May 3rd at the Foot Locker on East 8 Mile near Kelly at the Detroit Eastpointe border. Police say Taylor and his 19-year-old sister got into some sort of fight with another group. They say Taylor's sister went to get her gun when her brother was getting jumped and started shooting. 2 people died and another was hurt. Investigators say Taylor picked up his sister's gun and took off from the scene. Taylor's bond is set at $250,000 and he must wear a GPS tether, if released.
Charged with tampering with evidence. Police wouldn't say what exactly he did, but the implication was clear. Something at the scene had been moved, hidden, or destroyed. Detective Holish summed it up with quiet gravity. It's a tragedy. 2 people lost their lives. Ultimately, Miss Taylor's life is going to be altered forever, whatever the outcome. As the details emerged, so did the divide. Was Lakylia a young woman trying to protect her brother from being killed? Or was she an avenger who took justice into her own hands?
Good morning, Your Honor. Corey Newman on behalf of the people.
And Randall Upshaw on behalf of Ms. Taylor. State your name, Ms. Taylor.
Lakylia Taylor.
Ma'am, please rise. Your name, please?
Lakylia Sheila Taylor.
Very good. And you're here today for a date certain preliminary examination. This was a special date that was set by the court. The court is in receipt of a motion to adjourn preliminary examination. And then, Mr. Upshaw, you have a bond motion that you filed.
Yes, Your Honor.
You may argue the bond motion and make a record. The bond motion that you have presented to the court sets forth the same arguments that you made on May 20th of 2025. I referred this matter to Community Corrections. There is no updated report, and I don't know what has changed other than we have a new date that would warrant the court at this point reducing the bond. I denied the bond reduction based on the same set of facts that you presented to the court today. What would you like to say?
Judge, I totally respect the seriousness of the offense. I'm asking the court, especially due to the amount of time that's been passed because of things beyond the court's control. Mr. Kumar and I both, and this is pretty much, I don't want to take the court's time, but it's pretty much the same thing, but I just ask you to put emphasis on the fact that here's a woman with absolutely no prior arrest. And it's undisputed that the only reason she was there was taking her brother allegedly to the Foot Locker. And Judge, I don't want to make the same argument, but we're going to leave her in bond when, in my opinion, if you would have seen the video, everyone knows she was not the aggressor.
And Mr. Upshaw, we will see the video, I assume, during the preliminary examination. I am going to respectfully deny your bond request at this time. I found good cause to adjourn the preliminary examination. We are coming back on July 18th. And I'll see everybody at that date and time.
Have a good day, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Upshaw, I'm going to love you, Carter. I love you. I love you.
Months later, a new headline stunned everyone again. Lakylia Taylor released from jail. Her $2.5 million bond slashed to $250K. She posted it. But she's not free. Not really. She's under house arrest, wearing a GPS tether, forbidden from contacting anyone connected to the victims. Her next pretrial, November 17, 2025. A date that could decide whether she walks away or spends decades behind bars. Her brother, Dejuan, still faces charges of his own, and the families of the men who died are still waiting for answers that may never bring them peace. A fight between friends that turned to bloodshed. A sister who says she tried to save her brother's life. And two families torn apart on both sides of 8 Mile. As the court date approaches, one question remains. Was this tragedy the result of fear or fury? Only time and the truth will tell. Alright, y'all, there y'all have it, man. That's the story of Lakylia Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Holding her brother down, man. Doing what blood's supposed to do. Hey, get in that comment section. Let me know what y'all would have did in that situation. Hey, man, drillers and trappers, we outside trapping and drilling 247. Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video. Gang!